That night, the sky turned black. Not just dark, but a deep, endless blackness that swallowed every star. The village of Kuduma, usually alive with soft whispers of the night, fell silent. The gentle breeze was replaced by a fierce wind that howled like a lost child, searching for its mother. Even the distant drums, which often kept the villagers' heartbeat steady through the night, stopped playing, as if the very spirit of music had fled. Lami laid awake, feeling the heaviness of the night pressing against her chest. When the first ray of dawn broke through the horizon, she hurried outside to face a new day. But the moment she looked in the mirror, her scream shattered the morning calm. Her ears had grown long and heavy, swinging down past her neck, just like the strangers. They were not delicate or pretty, they were thick and soft, hanging like banana leaves caught in a slow wind. Lami tried desperately to hide them under scarves and wraps, but they refused to stay covered. The villagers could not stop staring. Mothers pulled their children aside, and the old men shook their heads knowingly. They say it is the curse of laughter, whispered some. The curse has come to Kuduma. Lami's heart broke. She who had laughed so freely now felt trapped by her own laughter. She no longer found joy in the world, no light in her laughter. Days passed, and the once lively girl locked herself away in her hut. Her tears soaked in the dry floor. Her laughter was gone, replaced by a heavy silence. Finally, shame and sorrow pushed her to seek out Mama Dogo, the village's oldest and wisest woman. Maybe, just maybe, Mama Dogo could help her lift the curse that laughter had brought. Mama Dogo welcomed Lami with kind eyes, but with a stern voice. This curse, she said, was born from pride. Only humility can heal it. She handed Lami a small bundle of bitter herbs and explained their use. This will calm your heart, but your soul must do the real work. Lami held the herbs closed, tasting their bitterness as she prepared to leave. She was no longer the girl who laughed carelessly. She was now a traveler, sent on the quest for forgiveness and wisdom. Her journey began at dawn. The whispering forest surrounded her like old friends, speaking in secret languages only the trees understood. Leaves brushed against her skin, and strange birds sang songs she had never heard before. She walked on muddy paths, crossed rivers that tugged at her ankles, and climbed hills where the wind blew cold. Her feet were raw and bleeding. Her clothes, once bright and clean, were torn and worn. The sun scorched her skin by day, and the cold stars chilled her bones by night. She was tired, hungry, and scared, but she pressed on. Each step was a prayer, each breath a plea for mercy. On the second day, after crossing a dry plain and a thicket of thorns, she saw it. A giant baobab tree standing tall and alone in the middle of nowhere. Its branches spread wide, and its thick trunk looked like a mountain of bark. Beneath it sat the stranger. His eyes were closed, and he seemed as still as the tree itself. His wooden staff rested on the ground beside him, worn by time and travel. Lami's heart pounded. Here was the one she had mocked, the one who had brought her curse. She knelt before him, humility filling her like a river, ready to ask for forgiveness. Lami bowed her head deeply before the stranger, her voice trembling but clear. I am sorry, she said. I laughed at what I did not understand. I judged what I could not see. Please forgive me. The stranger opened his eyes slowly. They were calm and deep, like a river that flows quickly but holds great strength beneath its surface. A gentle smile touched his lips. He rose, towering but kind, reached out to touch her shoulder. His hands were warm and steady. Then, softly, he placed his hands on her ears. Lami closed her eyes, waiting for the curse to deepen, but instead she felt a gentle warmth spreading from where his hands rested. When she opened her eyes, her ears were back to normal. They were small and neat, no longer heavy or swinging. The stranger spoke softly. When we learn respect, even the wind becomes our friend. Relief and gratitude overwhelmed Lami. Tears streamed down her face, but this time they were tears of joy. She thanked the stranger with all her heart and began the long walk back to Kuduma. She returned not as Lami the beautiful or Lami the loud, but as Lami the wise. She still smiled, but she never laughed at another Spain or difference again. Her laughter was now gentle, a song of kindness and understanding. And in Kuduma, whenever children laughed too quickly or mocked someone different, the elders would whisper, "Be careful, remember what happened to Lami." If only she didn't laugh at the stranger with big ears. Moral of the story: never mock what you don't understand. Respect is the root of wisdom, and every person may carry a lesson meant for your soul.